Hello there, viewers. This is your host, Ricky Klein, the Cassette Master. And today I want to show you a very nice device called the Gray Audograph. I hope you enjoy it. Shown at this newly set up newly set up vintage audio setup in the den of my home. Shot on a rare day here. A rare day indeed. For tomorrow I shall depart to go to Broken Arrow for work. Here is a very old cabinet, which unfortunately no longer contains its original contents, which would have been a 45 RPM record player and AM radio from the late 1940s, taken apart back in my take-apart days. Though John Clark has at his place an identical changer and original speaker, which I may one day restore. But with the speaker inside this cabinet, a 12-inch, is a great way to reproduce sound with a nice, classic, full, rich, low tones tone. But not much trouble. But we'll open the cabinet to see what fits inside this thing in a nice way for hooking up to the speaker inside. The Gray Audograph dictating machine. The Gray Audograph is a very interesting format. You might know that the autograph is not to be spelt like autograph, but it's actually spelt with a D instead of the expected T. It's like a play on words between automatic and audio. The Gray Audograph is a very interesting machine and embosses sound onto a disc similar to a record, except it does not cut a record, but instead it embosses. Not only that, but the autograph starts the recording of the record from the inner part and works its way out. Also, the autograph has a constant linear velocity, not a constant angular velocity like a regular record does. Those particular 2 points are things that the autograph has in common with the compact disc. Step 1, plug it in! Are you kidding me? Okay, we'll energize the autograph. Now, I want to give a shout out to a YouTuber named SpeakerFreak95. He also has a video of this same exact autograph, or actually a video where I'm showing the autograph, because I acquired this autograph from the illustrious John Clark, or JRC Studios on YouTube. And so I was there with John and Jordan in person, and so we both messed with the autograph. Jordan even helped me with the restoration of the autograph, with restuffing the original filter capacitor, which I'll put some footage of that on either this video or another video related to it with the link in the description if it's separate. So I know I could say video, but it's funner to say video. Oh yes, I have to plug in a special adapter. This adapter here had to be made for the autograph, and it goes to a Jones connector, 6-pin Jones connector. This adapter contains 2 controls and an input. The microphone input, a backspace control, and a start-stop. Notice the nice lacing, the braiding of the cord. This braiding was done as a surprise by John Clark. I come one morning there and to see this thing laced. John Clark did it in the morning before I even got up or got out of the room. Or maybe he did it at night after I went to bed. But however it was, anyway. With this now, I can actually operate the machine, start-stop. Now it has a small built-in speaker, probably about 1.5 inches in diameter.
Nobody purchases. I bought this machine for $35 back when eBay was a really good place to get fun stuff like this.
That is the voice of John Clark. Now, it's through the small speaker, but with this cabinet, I can get a much bigger sound. Experience it for yourself.
And I never thought that I would see it work because I never figured out how all that worked. And I'm glad that I can hear it vibrate when I talk. That's a cool sound. This is the sound of the machine. And thank you. That was all. Gray. Oh, good working with this echo microphone. Making the recording the Gray Audograph. Gray Audograph. That was one of my on the Gray Audograph. You can see the neon indicator is flickering nicely on the Gray device. If an old school classmate from 2nd grade in the year 1999 is listening, since the year 2000, I haven't seen since the year 2000. I will shout out to somebody, Chaz Gray. That's right, Chaz Gray. If you happen to, for some reason, be seeing this video, please comment on it saying, holy crap, yeah, I can't believe you remember me, or something like that. Let me know you're up to. I guarantee Chad is never going to see this, but if he will, for some reason happen to see this, that would be remarkable. I've been from Chad since 2nd grade. Just saying, but I'll never forget his name.
Beautiful piece of technology, to say the least. Very, very neat device. The Gray Audograph. Anyway.
You're listening to WHAT 106.7 FM Web Radio. I just wanted to come on the air because I thought it'd be interesting because all the material is being recorded on a very interesting device called the Gray Audograph. And I just wanted to get my voice here. Something a little bit crazy and odd. What happened? Yeah, that's right. This is my voice compressed and everything on the Gray Audograph. Live on the air. Okay, sorry for the little pause. Let's continue with the program.
Today's date is the 6th of November 2018. It's armature transmutual metal microphone, metal diaphragm. Metal diaphragm. But the needle is stationary and the disc moves along away from where it started, which is very interesting.
Music by Brian Aspro. Compared to the built-in speaker. Oh my gosh, the way it sounds.
Audograph.
So when you get this, what is it? Not tape recorder, but a record. Okay, when did you get it? Last month. All right. That's pretty cool. It's like a small, except for it's not a record, but it's like a thin piece of plastic. Yeah. My name is Luke E. Holdeman.
The Gray Audograph is a beautiful piece of equipment. Fully recapped machine. Vacuum tube technology, of course. And I like to have the Audograph resting in this cabinet. Don't worry, there's other video footage I can show the Gray Audograph in this video. It's a beautiful piece of technology, that's for sure. I want to show you some more bits of the Gray Audograph, like more of the exterior, what it looks like. So brace yourself. Indeed, the Audograph. See here all these Legos? These Legos. All these Legos along with the Audograph. Oh man, so it's a beautiful machine. There's 3 controls here. REL, end, and core. Here's a close-up of the controls. Now, REL, I imagine, means release. And yeah, I believe it does, because notice this. Look down and you'll see a little cog in there. And if I run it, okay, it's not moving right now. Let's move the disc. There. When I move the disc back and forth, the cog moves. So obviously the cog slowly moves as the disc moves, because actually, whereas a regular record player, the needle moves, and the disc stays stationary, on this, the disc moves, and the needle stationary. Which is very interesting. So you'll notice that this cog here, when you press REL, is pushed away, so that it's releasing. On these machines, you'd have a piece of paper that would travel through here. That would be given to the secretary along with dictation on the disc. REL would just release it so you could take a paper out or put the paper in. The paper would be cogged like film so that it would slowly move across. Then there is an end button and a core button. Core, I believe, would mean correction, and end would probably mean end of letter. So say you had several letters on there, you'd press end, which would mark the paper, I believe, to show that, okay, that's the end of that particular letter. And core would mark the paper to show, okay, there's a correction right here to the dictation, so the secretary would know to correct the error in the dictation on a typewritten document. So release, end, and correct. Release releases the paper for loading and unloading. End marks the end of a letter, and core marks a correction to a letter. None of this has any effect on the recordings on the disc. This is all related to the paper that would travel through. Now I don't have any of these papers, I can't demonstrate any of that, but it would make sense that that's what these functions are for. There is an incandescent lamp here that is burned out and I have not replaced. I don't have much need to replace it. I just don't feel that much of a need to do so. But I want to show you some interesting things in the mechanism on this machine. There are more details on the inner mechanism on Speaker Freak's upload, so just look at his video. I'll put a link to that in the description. But one thing I want to show here is that this is a capstan drive type machine. Now you expect capstan drive to be a tape recorder kind of thing. It can also be used with discs. Notice these two rollers. Notice that one of the rollers, the one on the bottom here, is rotating, and the other roller is stationary. Right here is a set of needles. You'll see it's on a rocking mechanism. Okay, the rocking mechanism here has a needle on each side. On this side is a playback needle, so when you go into play position, notice it points that one down. The one on the other side is the embossing or recording needle. Notice it points the other one down when I go into record mode. Also, notice the pinch roller here. I put it into listened position, but how come it's not turning? And see if the pinch roller presses down. Yeah, it did. It pressed down, but it didn't press down enough. There's another mechanism for the start-stop. Notice the pinch roller only has to press down just a tad to start the disc in playback or record. That system is actuated by this electromagnet back here. Notice these two coils. These wires here go to the two coils. This metal plate is above the electromagnet. When the electromagnet is energized, it pulls down this plate, causing the pinch roller mechanism to pull upward slightly. Because it's on a rocker, this plate goes down and the pinch roller is then pulled up slightly. When the electromagnet is de-energized, the plate is allowed to move freely, and therefore the pinch roller can be let down onto the record. It's a very interesting design. When I first was operating on this machine, I had no remote. So when I was first operating on it, I was wondering, how come although the motor's running and everything, I can't get it to play or record? I can't get the disc to move. Then I found that there's an electromagnet, and if I kind of wiggled a screwdriver in there, I could kind of hold it or something and make it work. Then I found out, the electromagnet is always energized when it's on. Then I figured it must be a pause feature, because it's common for these things to have a pause feature, and of course I was aware I did not have the original microphone to this. So then I went on to the Jones connector and I just started fumbling around to find the audio input, and then I found two other contacts where if I short them together, one of them would be the start-stop and the other one was a backspace control. So I'd run the machine, and I could also backspace, which moves the record back just a little bit. So it's kind of like a rewind, but instantaneous.
Okay, I'm making a recording on the Gray Audograph.
And it's a beautiful mechanism. More details talking about the inside of this, showing the backspace in operation, the worm gear setup and stuff, is on Speaker Freak's video, so it will not be discussed on this video. But it's a very interesting machine, the Gray Audograph. The machine came out in the year 1945, but was manufactured for a number of years into the 1950s. I suspect that this one here is probably from the 1950s as opposed to the 1940s, as much as I would wish that it was manufactured earlier. The fact that it has some sub-miniature tubes inside, or not sub-miniature, but it has some smaller tubes inside, i.e. that size right there, is making me think that it might be a little bit later. Then again, I'm not entirely sure. This might be, maybe it's from the late 1940s. You know, I don't know exactly when this one was manufactured. But these machines have been around since 1945. That's when they first came out. Of course, both belts had to be replaced. Although the original belts were intact and were able to run the machine, there was too much slippage of them, resulting in lots of wow and flutter. replacing the belts took care of that problem, although there is still a little bit of flutter. I think it's kind of a certain kind of flutter that probably is just going to have to be dealt with on this machine. But it's a very interesting piece of technology, and I hope you enjoyed the video on the Gray Audograph. Before I go, I just realized I wanted to show more of the exterior of this machine. Here's the rear of the Audograph. Nicely, they have a extra 120 volt AC outlet, which is always nice. Well, I'm not entirely sure, honestly, if that's meant to be an outlet or if it's supposed to be a foot switch. No, I don't think it'd be a foot switch because they could just use the Jones connector part for that. So that's probably a 120 volt AC utility outlet. Here on the side of the Audograph, you can see the clip where you would put the original microphone to it, which of course I don't have. And then here is the serial number and so forth. Even the VA rating of the Gray Audograph. Made by the Gray Manufacturing Company, Hartford, Connecticut. Made in USA. Serial number M168467. This is a very well built, well designed piece of dictation equipment. Made originally at a time period when wire recorders were the norm, and when this first came out, really, the tape recorders were really something that you'd find in Germany and not in the US. It was 1945 when the first tape recorders were brought over from, or for the US, early magnetophone tape recorders were brought from Germany, from radio stations from at the end of World War II, and brought to the US. Then those machines were completely taken apart, then rebuilt in the US, and then the designs of those machines led to the early Ampex tape recorders in the US. So really, the earliest tape recorders you're going to find, that is, the earliest magnetic tape recorders you're going to find, are German. But if you really want to hear another interesting historical thing, the first person to invent a tape recorder, now I'm not talking magnetic tape recorder, I'm talking about tape recorder. Any kind of machine that records audio onto some kind of a tape-like ribbon. That was an invention in the United States. That was an invention by none other than Alexander Graham Bell. It's a little-known invention done sometime in the 1880s. He made a reel-to-reel tape recording machine. It didn't perform all that well, I don't think. Well, I mean, it's the 1800s. You're not going to get much sound quality out of something like that. But the point is, he made a reel-to-reel tape recording machine that had paper tape that was coated with wax. And then, similar to a wax cylinder, cutting away the groove on a wax cylinder, you'd cut away a groove on the wax-coated paper tape. None, not even one of those recordings, as far as I know, have ever been transferred to digital. But somewhere, and I think it's the Smithsonian or the Library of Congress, lies that machine by Alexander Graham Bell. Imagine if those got transferred one day. And if for any historical ones interested more, I mean, that's not the only machine that Alexander Graham Bell came up with. Alexander Graham Bell also, as far as I know, was the very first person to invent optical audio recording. In the 1880s, he made optical disc recordings. I suggest looking that up on the internet. You'll find some interesting things about those, and there's some of those optical disc recordings are transferred and are on YouTube, such as one where he says, "Barometer, barometer, barometer," in the 1880s optical recording. He also made various other different disc recordings as he was experimenting with different ways to record sound. That's right, Alexander Graham Bell isn't just one of the several inventors of the telephone, but also worked with developing audio recording machines in the 1880s. The utmost respect I have for that man, aside from, I mean, he may have beaten someone to the patent office by a couple hours, but I gotta say, I respect Alexander Graham Bell. Welcome, viewers. This is your host, coming at you again, the Cassette Freak 95 Speaker Master, Cassette Master. And today, or am I Cassette Studios, JR Master, I don't know. But anyway, today we have, that's going to get a few of its paper capacitors replaced due to its old age and the fact that they're paper capacitors. Thankfully the electrolytics are still fine, but the paper capacitors in this old device will need to be replaced, or will be replaced for better operation. Now this device here, you only can see the bottom of, with the point-to-point wiring exposed. But this particular device is the Gray Audograph. A very beautiful, classic dictation machine. It is not a tape recorder. It's not a wire recorder. I'm very sorry. It is a record embossing type dictation machine that records onto these nice clear blue flexible vinyl records. So then whenever you see the celebrities, you can go up to them and say, "Can I have your autograph?" Unfortunately, we do not have the original microphone for this device. Yet, here, complete with his video camera, is Speaker Freak.
Watch me delete.
95.
I'm having to delete everything manually because I don't want to delete the wrong files.
Right. And here is the back of the Gray Audograph, and the first paper capacitor right here,
In just moments.
a 100 volt 0.5 microfarad, will be replaced by Jordan Tuck, a man who enjoys fine speakers and soundboards. It'll be replaced with this Sprague orange drop capacitor. Or shall I say, condenser. Well, we got bad news, okay? Bad news. If I get my ESR meter, and I get the orange drop we were going to put in there, this was a rather old one, new old stock. The meter just barely registers. So, we get this other capacitor right here. You can see on this screen my camera being used to show the ESR meter. And we put these leads together, and we got really nice reading on that meter. So, we're going to put this 200 volt 0.47 microfarad condenser into the Gray Audograph dictation machine. But the first condenser will be put in by none other than
me.
The soldering iron is being powered by Variac.
Yeah, this thing, the tip doesn't last as long as it probably could because this thing burns so hot.
Right, so we gotta Variac it and, you know, take it down a notch.
And voltage down a little bit. We're just gonna destroy this capacitor.
You used to take the dikes and cut it out. That's what I'd do.
I just pull the wire out of the cap like that.
Okay.
Because I'm going to. I'm not.
Oh, you're going to use the original wire and
I'm not
just kind of extend it?
I'm not going to J-hook it. I don't do that. Except for like really brittle tube sockets.
Right.
On a case-by-case basis, I might. But these terminal blocks are usually just fine. So as long as you don't go crazy with it, you'll be all right. That one's open. This one down here.
The Art of Recapping. Seen up close. Filmed on the 2nd of November, 2018.
I need to get more voltage on this.
Anno Domini.
Are you all ready to go?
Dr. Clark, I think so we can go soon. Can we put in a new capacitor really quick? This is Dr. Clark.
I have a kitty.
Johann Clark. He has a meowing
man,
device.
You really do. Why are you backing away?
Because I realized I had a cat next to you.
It's okay. I'm not gonna die if a cat's
This
near me.
morning, this cat was non-stop and had been doing it in the night too, meowing,
Tripping
just
balls.
meowing, meow. It's meow, meow.
Don't step on the kitty.
Meow, 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 meow. But now he's not because he has the attention that he's been desiring. Because he likes it.
Can we take your car?
Mine?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the only one with air conditioning and enough seats.
Okay.
Your Jeep has air conditioning.
Prius.
Seats. That's why I included both of those in my status.
You can see two different cameras being used.
I'm not.
You can only see one.
There's
There
the
he
cat
goes.
again.
Are you having cat issues?
Look on his face. Oh, I first come in and the look on his face is like this, like John, like just wide-eyed at me, just like what?
Silly cat. Here, I'll open you a window slightly. Oh no, this is the window that has no screen. It cannot be opened. That one has no screen that cannot be opened. Where's Mama? Not in the bedroom?
I thought he was with you.
Was that the cat?
That was me. The cat did meow a little bit earlier, but the meowing you just heard was me.
Say that's
Ooh.
an angry, angry cat. An angry cat.
And an angry capacitor.
I meant to say angry cat all along, but I'm still waking up at this point. I don't know why I can't wake up this morning. There we go, first lead in. This is a new old stock cap, and usually I'm against using new old stock, but that's what we got today. I need to order caps. I did just get paid, so we'll be alright on that.
Good meowing.
Morning.
The green phone's for you.
Green phone's for
Yeah,
me.
here's the green phone.
Oh yeah, you need to film them having a conversation on phone here.
Hello.
It sounds so. Hello?
Hi.
Hi. Where are you right now?
I'm just over at a friend's house.
Okay. Oh, I'm at home.
That sounded really guilty.
It did. That was the purpose.
I just hung up on him.
He did. She did.
Rude ass.
This is that cat. That cat has a pleasing meow. It's a very, very house cat sounding meow.
She was annoying this morning.
Alright, if we're gonna eat, we gotta go eat.
Okay.
I warned y'all 10 minutes ago.
Okay.
I warned y'all 10 minutes, 20 minutes ago.
She's still meowing.
Boom. There we go.
Okay, let's de-energize the Variac. We're going to replace this capacitor here with this capacitor right here. That's right, brother. This Jordan Tuck here, he's going to do what's called waxing on and waxing off.
Maybe not that,
This
but
particular
what we're gonna
capacitor, I tried a shaving at it to get the label exposed, and
Yep.
Jordan had a most bright idea. Just get a heat gun on it and melt the wax away, and oh my gosh. Oh my freaking gosh. Jordan, that is, oh man.
You gotta be careful, because what'll happen is you'll burn the paper, and I've
Yeah.
done that, and then there's just no hope of reading what
Yeah.
it was. But it looks like our value is actually probably back in there. Focus. 100 volts.
Okay.
It's kind of a delicate operation because this stuff hurts.
Then use pliers to hold it. .5.
0.5 at 100 volts. These
Okay.
are
Thank you.
interestingly low
Fantastic.
value or low voltage,
Yeah.
but big values. So there you go. Unplug this and put it back.
And here's Jordan's recent radio. He's going to be
Yes.
recapping and also changing the resistors out. He
That's
has
the
to
first
find
thing
the
we're gonna do
magic
today.
eye tube, and
Here's
or
my
shall I
collection
say
of-
valve. And anywho,
Collection
he's
of
got
resistors.
plenty of resistance devices. I tell you one thing, brother.
It's good to know your resistor color codes, let me tell you.
Yeah, that. And I also want to tell you that resistance is futile. Meanwhile, while Speaker Freak continues to work on his radio from the year 1937 or thereabouts,
To 39.
the Gray Audograph is, well, the amplifier is working, I guess, a little louder than it was before.
Considerably.
And we still have the problem, of course, this electromagnet is engaged all the time, and I believe it has to be engaged for pause and disengaged for playback, or for not pause, for movement. But since we don't have the external microphone, which uses a Jones connector, at this point we have to manually do it. Now, unfortunately, this does not track well at all for some reason. I don't know why, but
was private and written. Then you can have about 20 to best, but we have property, 14 houses, 14 houses,
the Gray Audograph.
Take a liberty for the sake of listening, which is better than the have good actually prepared to do properly on the time we have live and you can live bit for readability and the book accordance for the
And here is John Clark's Spectrum Annualizer with very beautiful construction, socketed chips, and you can even see the traces through the boards. Except for this very beautiful circuit board, which just makes me think of Dave Jones and his love for quality electronics. I wish I could have caught this in video, but I didn't. You may see some kind of marking on the table.
That is nasty.
If I touch this condenser, it's rather warm, but earlier it was very hot to the touch. And look closely at this condenser, you'll see it's kind of wet right there. Well, while I had this on, this condenser blew out the magic smoke. It was done
Caught both of us off
condensing.
guard. It really did.
It caught both of us off
loud.
guard. It was like,
yeah,
and smoke started coming out of the autograph. Even though this capacitor did test good on the ESR meter, that doesn't always mean it's going to be good when you put a high voltage on it. This is the lazy man's Cinch Jones way of doing the connection. Bridging these two to put the machine into start, and microphone goes right here at the end. Capacitor. This thing started spewing out liquid.
You can actually see it's still
and
wet.
The amplifier failed. And I think, why is there no more audio and why do I hear this sizzling sound? Well, this capacitor was super hot to the touch and spewing out liquid.
So I'm going to help him restuff this capacitor. First step is to heat it up really hot. And it ain't going to blow up, it's just going to start expanding. You can control the rate at which it starts expanding by cooling it off. Double check and make sure that was on high. So just let it bake.
Let's go outside to take it out.
Kind of curious if it'll...
Oh, I see what you're doing there. Could I have some advice, please?
Advise.
Will you advise me on something?
Okay, what's up? What you got?
Advice. Advice.
Oh, I thought you like literally was wanting to know something. I totally felt that.
Be careful about that resistor.
I got you. I don't know what he's doing in there.
He's raring.
Yeah, it's not ready yet. I really don't know what he's doing. Doesn't matter. So, just keep cranking the heat at it and HFR 80. I had an HF 810 at one point. Good camera. So just keep slapping heat at it. And ideally, if I had a rag or something, I could actually grab it and start twisting. But that's okay. We're just gonna keep heating it. I did this with a Philco one time, and I didn't actually save the video, but the cap literally was moving out like this by itself.
Oh, wow.
Because the heat does cause pressure.
Heat and pressure.
It's definitely very loose. The actual capacitor is not as big as the can. It's held in with lots of filler. Usually it's like tar or wax. And this stuff usually contains PCBs, so you definitely don't want to lick your fingers or anything. Alright, there's a rag stuck to the side of the house we can use. Yep, still there. Shut that door for me. I really don't know why this is here. Oh, that's so sad. Whatever. Oh, ouch, 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 ouch. Warm, warm, warm. And with that, we have been able to save this plate. For the most part. It didn't actually come out the way I wanted it to, but that's okay. Just keep working it back and forth, and this cap will come out, but you can carve the rest of the thing out, and that is just awful. So Get that door for me. Ouch. This thing hurts, man. It's warm. So I'm just gonna... And then what we'll do...
Get all the PCBs and shave it off.
Well, we're going to drill little tiny holes and run wires from inside to attach to these connectors.
Can you dig it? Dig it, bro. Yeah, digging that capacitor, bro. Ooh.
Stuff is gross.
Oh. Yuck.
Just literally steam. Just break up this wafer here.
Oh, the whole thing's starting to come out. Let's
Trash can. I don't dump this stuff outside because it's nasty.
Ooh, that's a capacitor if I've ever seen.
Get a whiff of that.
Ooh.
It smells like
It's
barbecue.
smoking, bro.
It smells like barbecue.
It's smoking. Look at that. It's like a marshmallow that you just pulled out of the fire.
Alright, that's how you do that. Now the can is empty. So
look down in there.
The rest of the stuff in here will wipe out.
Capacitance is crucial. Here at Capacitor Central, we make sure that you have the right capacity to condense. Here you can see several condensers have been put together with heat shrink and so forth for putting inside the original can in the process of the restoration of the gray colored Gray Audograph audio recording machine. So we can see an absolute professional job here. And
There we go.
you know which one is the low voltage?
This guy. These are all 10s. Negative 20. So I need to widen this hole a little.
Professional
I
job.
think he's keeping those wires.
Who's keeping these?
He is.
Yeah, I am.
Why?
They came out the
For
console.
projects that need shielded cable inside them.
I get a whole roll. It won't be in little pieces.
Well, like what I can use for projects that have short pieces of shielded cable from one point to another, these would be perfect. Here you can see Jordan is widening a hole drill for the wires to go through.
Yep.
Beautiful professional job, to say the very least. Professor Farnsworth on Futurama wants to bid everyone good news. We got the autograph completely recapped. We had bad news with the filter capacitor spewing out the magic smoke after running, where the filter capacitor got extremely hot to the touch. Unbeknownst to me, I started hearing a sizzling sound, noticed the amp wasn't working. I pull a thing and look under, and I noticed that some liquid had appeared on the workbench because it was running with the bottom cover off. Well, that liquid was capacitor juice. Well, we got the machine completely recapped now. New capacitor has the new caps put into the old can, and now I went ahead and cleaned the belts and the belt paths, some with alcohol and Q-tips, to try to get more traction because we're having some extreme wow flutter type problems. And here you can see the tubes and so forth. And we'll put the old autograph up and see if we can do some more mumbo jumbo with this bad boy, am I right? And here's Jordan the freak, the speaker freak, here with a 1990s Radio Shack television set with a CRT manufactured by the Hong Kong CRT company.
Look at this font.
Hong Kong cathode ray tube. That's the old Radio Shack
Look at this font.
Very classic to see. And,
and we can hear our station on here. Hold on.
Very nice.
That ain't bad.
Not at all.
Sounds good.
We're running off a pyramid regulated power supply. We were trying
The only
several
thing Pyramid
little
knows how to
Walmarts.
make are these right here. This is like 20 years old.
Yeah.
Fantastic power supply.
Indeed.
Can't ask for a better power supply. We have a blonder tongue modulator. We have some cameras. and a power amplifier after that. We're gonna get creative. If you look over here, cameras, launder tons in the floor. I don't know where did the other camera go that says sports on it? Or no, it says football. Let's see right now. 'Cause I haven't even seen this.
Football.
Panasonic.
Go Jackets. It's not 5 anymore, it's 3. SVHS, that's pretty nice.
Dude.
Yeah, that's pretty honky.
Look at it. What kind of... Oh, wait. Okay, hold on. Hold on.
You're more better now.
You gotta leave that in the video.
Yeah. I will.
Dude, I was like, wait a minute. Hold on.
Yeah, it does look weird. I'm like, what the heck?
It's a little cold outside.
I'm like, what the hey? Oh, man.
Oh, I like that. I think it actually is collapsible on purpose. I think that's probably... Yeah, we have video out. It has that Japanese electronic smell. Get a whiff.
Yep. Classic. I love it. Well, anyway, we're going to get this autograph going pretty soon, am I right? Anyway, now we've done some good things. The belts have been replaced in the Gray Audograph because the original belts, although they seem to have not really had much in the way of stretching too much, they weren't having good friction. So I put new belts on that are nice and tight. Now we have good drive, because before we had wow and flutter galore, and you could literally see the disc slow down during record. Now don't worry, I had the top piece for this. So
Gray Audograph, okay. This is more weak, this is more sensitive. I mean, yes. Gray Audograph recording.
this was before fixing the issue.
Sounds great. Yeah, that ain't working very good.
I also adjusted pinch roller position after lubricating it.
I am talking on an autograph after cleaning the belt house and adjusting the pinch roller's position. The pinch roller's position was the reason why I had a hard time loading it, because after I lubricated the pinch roller's bearing, I put the pinch roller down too far, not realizing that I could change the pinch roller's position. Let's see if this recording comes out. Hi. This is this. Hi. I can see it stopping. No, it's just failure. And it's still stopping the belt part. The problem is okay. I've replaced the belt in the Gray Audograph, and we should have better recording. We're going to see, oh wow, what happens when we adjust the LH control. It's probably adjusting. Hello, yeah, adjusting sensitivity. So I'm just going to set it at the maximum. Hello, I want to get more modulation as much as I can get on this device. Hello. Switch up. Hello. Switch down, and alright.
I believe this, I think it may have some automatic level control during recording, but I'm not 100% sure.
Compressing, I can hear it.
Nice. That's beautiful. We have John Clark on here earlier.
This is more weak, this is more sensitive. I never figured out, I thought that I would see it work because I never figured out how all that worked. And I'm glad Ricky was here to help me. Yay! I can hear it vibrate when I talk. That's a cool sound. This is the sound of the machine. And thank you. That is all. Gray working with this excellent microphone. Making a recording on the video, you know, the Gray Audograph. Gray Audograph, okay. This more week.
Let's see what happens when we record over something.
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Yeah.
I am making a recording on the Gray Audograph dictation machine. Let's see how this recording comes out. Trying to record over something. Jordan?
YouTube needs to see that microphone you've got right there.
Indeed, it is an electro voice.
Someone's hammered a house together with that.
635 or something like that. Very special device. Jordan, you're Ricky.
Yeah, I mean, what is all? Gray. Hello, good. Working with this excellent microphone. Making a recording on the video. You know, the Gray Audograph. Gray Audograph. Okay. This is more weak. This is more sensitive. I mean, yeah. Making a recording on the Gray Audograph dictation machine. Let's see how this recording comes out. Trying to record over something.
It seems like it works.
Yeah.
Jordan.
I'm impressed.
That microphone you've got right there.
Oh, you can hear the other
I
ones
wonder
now.
if you could like heat the record.
Oh,
It would probably just warp the crap out of it.
yeah, I don't think it would make the recordings go away.
Man, I think that cat's hungry. What do you think?
Probably. The Gray Audograph is a very beautiful device, to say the very least.
Exactly.
And I love their choice of naming. It's
That's
not
probably someone's last name, I'll be honest with you.
Autograph.
No, Gray.
Well, Gray, I mean, I'm sure Gray is someone's last name. I just find it funny the fact that they call it auto, not audio, and not auto, but auto. It's so strange, Audograph. It's really catchy.
It's the year 2000. The is the Gray device.
It actually does do pretty good. The other recordings are weak and great.
Second grade in the year 1999 is listening. One I haven't seen since the year 2000.
That microphone
I want to give a shout out to
Yeah.
somebody I remember
She's all
named
yours. You got
Chaz Gray.
Nice.
That's
Thank you.
right, Chaz Gray. If you happen to, for some reason, be seeing this video, please comment on it saying, "Holy crap, yeah, I can't believe you remember me," or something like that. Just let me know you're out there. I guarantee Chad is never going to see this, but if he were to some reason happen to see this, that would be remarkable. I haven't seen Chaz since second grade. Just saying, but I'll never forget his name. Hello. 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 Switch up. Switch up. Hello. Hello.
Yep. That's Gray for you.
That's a very bassy unit.
It really is.
A little, what looks to be probably not even 3-inch speaker has the bass response of like a 4-inch.
It's amazing. It
If
makes
you can
me
say
think.
a 4-inch has bass response.
Right. The bass out of this speaker makes me think of those modern little portable players you can get for smartphones and stuff like that. They have like a surprising amount of bass for their small size.
Oh yeah.
Yet this thing is like possibly from like the 1940s, and it sounds like that.
That's a Utah speaker in there.
Beautiful.
465 EIA code. Starts with 465. I believe that's Utah. If I'm not right, I'm sure I'll be castrated in the comments section. I'm just playing. I'm just playing. Well, but seriously though, people are quick to tell me if I'm wrong.
Right.
That's okay.
Yeah, that's the internet in a nutshell, right?
Because then I learn. I'm like, oh yeah, that was wrong.
Right. When you learn, it's good. Panasonic.
This is going to be just a video source. It doesn't have to be pretty. This camera here, which I think is also a Panasonic.
It is.
This is the video I'm getting out of it, but this TV I think also has a lot to do with the fact that it... Well, it stopped scrolling. I've been playing with the game.
Yeah, but I bet if we mess with the camera, it will start again. See?
So
I just wobbled the camera.
FM trap out. If I play with the gain controls, see, I got a blonder tone going into this big distribution. See, I can overload the input of the TV. It just blanks out. If I take it all the way back,
yeah.
If I play with the front, oh, I touched something and now it's not. If I crank it back up again, back it off a little bit, it's nice. Let's just do one more adjustment here. What do you think?
Not a bad idea, eh?
RF output.
That cat keeps going. Shout out to Clydeside. Because of the cat.
It has a sweet spot. What's this sound like? That's what I want to know. Nothing. You would think that this blender tug module would have an audio input, which it does. It would just be silence. Aural carrier, that's probably what, audio?
Let me see. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. But
it's funny that they decided to use the term aural.
Yeah.
Now this is the rail and the Nate takes it out. Recording on the third of the years of 2016. So you doing it on the Gregorian calendar.
And it's driving me insane. It stopped. It's sensitive to something.
I just wanted to come on the air because I thought it'd be interesting because all the material is being recorded on a very interesting device called the Gray Audograph. I'm just wanting to get my voice here. In fact, something a little bit crazy what happened? Yeah, that's right. This is my voice compressed and everything on the Gray Audograph. Live on the air.
I won.